Way down in Terrytown, there's a special way to get around. It's the only way I've ever found to play above the ground. Zooming along the treetops, zipping way up in the sky. Zigging and zagging, forgive me for bragging, but gee how I love to fly. Zooming along the treetops, zipping way up in the sky. Zip, zip, zoom-a-loom, zig-zag, zig-a-zoom, gee how I love to. Zip, zip, zoom-a-loom, zig-zag, zig-a-zoom, gee how I love to fly.
Big Jake had been in the air less than 5 minutes when he heard a strange whirring noise and then felt an unpleasant throbbing in his right wing. A moment later, the pilot gave him the bad news.
Better head back, Jake. Don't like the sound of that number 2 engine.
Back on the ground, Big Jake was examined by the airline's best mechanic, Brenda Blue. "I can have him back in the air in about 2 hours," she told Easy O'Malley.
Problem is, Brenda, we don't have 2 hours. Big Jake was running a spare part up to Mountain View. Gotta be there in 45 minutes or our goose is cooked.
Brenda Blue saw that the situation was desperate. Easy O'Malley needed a backup for Big Jake right away. "There is one plane left," she said, "but he's never flown at night. It's JJ." A few minutes later, JJ found himself at the head of the runway amid a flurry of activity. As Brenda Blue checked him over, the little jet was tanked with fuel and the vital spare part was transferred from Big Jake. JJ whispered something, but Big Jake couldn't make it out.
What's that you said, JJ?
"I said, I can't go," JJ whispered. "I'm afraid of the dark."
But JJ, everyone's counting on you, Big Jake whispered back.
"I've never flown at night. What if I get lost? What if I bump into something out there in the dark?" Big Jake could see that the little jet was very distressed.
JJ, listen to me, he said in a soft, reassuring voice. Before I first flew at night, I felt the same way you feel. But after I did it once, I learned I could do it. And believe me, you can do it too.
"Do you really think so?"
I know so. You're a good flyer, JJ, and one day you'll be a great one. I'll tell you what, you make this run, and I'll let you fly a stunt with me at the air show next month.
"You'll fly a stunt with me?" JJ couldn't believe his ears. Do you mean it? Do you really think I'm that good a flyer?"
You bet I do, said Big Jake, and he meant it too. All clear for takeoff.
JJ was so thrilled by Big Jake's vote of confidence, he climbed into the night sky, forgetting all about his fears. The little jet gazed down at the airport and was surprised to see how beautiful the lights looked from the air. Heading into the valley, he passed over Lightning Bug Lake, which glowed like an oasis of flickering neon in the vast darkness. Then he looked up and saw that the sky was filled with millions of stars. He saw twinkling stars and shooting stars, white and blue and silver stars, bigger and brighter and more sparkling than they had ever looked from the ground. "Ooh, how pleasant it is to fly at night," he thought. A few miles from Mountain View Airfield, JJ saw something he will never forget. Just above the snow-capped mountain peaks, a silvery crescent moon hung in the sky like an enormous smile. As he began his descent, JJ's smile was almost as big. On the ground in Mountain View, the airfield manager talked to JJ as the spare part was unloaded.
Nice work, kid. We appreciate it,
The manager said.
Better head back straight away. Big fog's rolling in. They say it's going to be thicker than pea soup out there.
As JJ returned across the valley, he was once again captivated by the beauty of the night sky. The moon smiled an enchanting smile, and the stars winked and beckoned. He could not resist. Racing up to join the stars, he shouted with joy,
I'm JJ, the night bird.
and with the grace of a ballet dancer, he soared and sailed and circled and glided in the glittering, glistening, glorious starlight. JJ didn't know how much time had passed when he first noticed the soundless haze that had moved in all around him. Within moments, all of Tarrytown Valley was covered by a dense fog, and it was getting thicker by the second. JJ could no longer see the stars or the moon or the mountains or anything at all, except the fog, and he became hopelessly lost. The hour was getting late, the fog was getting worse, and back at Tarrytown Airport, Easy O'Malley, Big Jake, and Herky were very worried about JJ. He should have been home by now.
They say he left Mountain View almost 2 hours ago,
said Easy O'Malley. Big Jake looked grim.
I'd better go find him,
he said, gazing out toward the valley. Easy O'Malley wouldn't hear of it.
No way I'll let you fly in that soup, Jake. Let's face it, there's nothing we can do till the fog lifts.
Oh, yes, there is,
shouted Herky. He shot straight up and hovered just long enough to announce,
I know just what to do. I know just what to do. Leave it to me, guys.
And with that, Herky darted away and disappeared into the fog. Minutes later, Herky hovered just above Lightning Bug Lake. Tens of thousands of brightly flickering lightning bugs reflected in the water. Herky tilted his rotors just so, then revved them as fast as he could. It created a powerful suction, and instantly thousands of lightning bugs were drawn into his cab. As Herky took off in search of JJ, he glowed with the intensity of a powerful laser beam. Trying to find his way out of the fog, JJ had been flying in circles for well over an hour. His fuel tank was almost empty, and he was about to give up hope. Then, way off in the distance, he saw a faint glow through the soupy mist. He didn't know what it was, but he knew his only hope was to reach it as soon as possible. As JJ drew closer to the light, he saw Herky scanning the sky. In the next instant, Herky saw JJ. Flying toward each other in the hazy light, they were identical grins of happy relief. Then, without speaking a word, they turned and headed for home. Later that night, inside the hangar, JJ told Big Jake all about his adventure.
So, what did you learn?
Asked Big Jake. JJ thought for a moment, then said,
I learned that the night can be very beautiful, and that I don't have to be afraid of the dark as long as I'm careful. Tonight, though, I wasn't very careful when I didn't come straight home.
JJ, you're a very bright little jet,
said Big Jake, smiling proudly. JJ smiled proudly, too.
Thanks, Big Jake. That's nice of you to say. But you know, I'll never in a million years be as bright as Herky was tonight.